our leadership contest. This contest has been overseen by the Electoral Reform Services, who received 17,970 votes. In fifth place, with 1,203 votes, is Elizabeth Jones. In fourth place, with 1,545 votes, is Philip Broughton. In third place, with 2,052 votes, is Bill Etheridge. In second place, with 4,591 votes, is Lisa Duffy. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it is an absolute pleasure to announce, with 8,451 votes, the leader of the UK Independence Party, Diane James.
We did it, ladies and gentlemen. You did it, ladies and gentlemen. And I have just done it, and I am so pleased. Chairman Nigel Conference. Well, thank you for that. It's going to take me a little while to come back down to earth, I can assure you. But thank you for your good wishes and for such a wonderful reception. Thank you to everybody who voted, who took part in the contest. My goodness, you've handed over a mantle. But there we go. It's one that I'm deeply honoured, and I do mean deeply honoured, to take on from Nigel. I still quite haven't, come to grips with it. I'm still pinching myself. But I'm just so immensely grateful for what you've done and what you've bestowed on me. Just remember, though, where we are and what you've asked me to take on. I was part of that European elections winning team. I've been one of your MEPs in Brussels for 2 years. I may not have contested a general election seat, but I supported a number of our candidates. And just remember, we were the third political force in that general election. We really did move mountains in that political landscape. And we might well have been handicapped by a flawed and, quite frankly, morally bankrupt first-past-the-post system. But absolutely nobody can take away from UKIP, United Kingdom Independence Party, the the disruption we've caused. But can I just mark one particular word, shall we say, or one particular sentence? And that is the days of Project Fear tactics. They've had their day. They've had their day, everyone. And we've proved why they've had their day, and we're going to ensure they never, ever rise from the political ashes ever again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's also thank the media for being here. And why are they here? We are the political change movement of the United Kingdom. There's more interest in you and this party than I'm sure others would dream of. So thank you, media. Thank you very much indeed. And we are welcome to be here and join us. But let me go back to people like you out there in the audience, maybe also UKIP members following what's going on in terms of the Parliament channel broadcasting, even picking up things on their mobile phones. For me, for the individuals I met in my Meet Diane for Leader events across the country, a huge thank you, but also a huge appreciation for introducing yourself and for making me aware of the talent that we now have out there, for the enthusiasm we now have out there, and for those that really do want to see UKIP deliver further change in this country. You're the grassroots. That's what you're referred to. You are the absolute pivotal base of this party. And on behalf of everyone who's so far spoken today, may I also echo my thanks to you all for everything you do. Now, there are councillors out there, at district, borough, unitary, wherever you want. And for them, they face a huge challenge in 2017. And I can give you this commitment. I will be behind you. I will make sure that you get the support you need. And you, who wherever you are in this country, in the United Kingdom, you will have the backing of the United Kingdom Independence Party winning machine. Winning machine. But we cannot take our eye off that important elephant in the room, can we? We've won a heat. I'm not even going to talk about battles and wars. I'm going to talk about heats and races and getting over the winning line. We've only just won a heat in a 28 member states Olympics competition to leave the European Union. And I'm very, very grateful, and I appreciate all of the other countries that are now looking to Britain and hoping to emulate what we have done here in their own countries. But, and here's the but, the UK signature ink is not yet dry on that document. And until it's dry on that document, to every single interviewer who talks to you, to every single Romaniac who talks to you, just remind them that until we get a signature, until that ink is dry, we're still in. They still tell us what to do. They still boss us about. We have to obey everything that goes through the European Union, various levels of what they purport to suggest is government and democratic process. So just bear that one in mind, if you wouldn't mind, on my behalf. Now, during my national series of events, I outlined my 100 days priorities. And not least is the absolute focus on this party's policies and making sure we are battle-ready, race-ready, for the next general election, whenever that might come. We were widely applauded for the quality of our manifesto back in 2015, and absolutely rightly so. It was independently costed. It stood up to the scrutiny from our political opponents. And words such, "it's the best one on the street," was voiced all over the country. We've got to do that again, everyone. I'm going to be asking all of you to make a contribution to that and make sure that your views are captured, counted, and where possible included in the policies that we will take forward and put to the United Kingdom population to make them aware that we truly are a political force, that we will act on their behalf and we will deliver on their behalf what is necessary for this country. But Magpie May. Magpie May, you've stolen so far our 2% defence spending. You've also tried to steal our grammar schools, but I think you're going to have a few difficulties getting that one through. Just remember, when you try and bury UKIP, when you throw everything at us, when you try to undermine us, demoralise us, demotivate us, just remember where the best ideas that you steal, where they came from, and in all likelihood where they will come from again in the future. But may I now pay my next tribute, and it's an important one. It's to my fellow MEP colleagues. Their contribution to that successful general election manifesto in 2015, I think sometimes goes unremarked. I work with them on a weekly basis. The calibre of those individuals, the work ethic that those individuals have, and the commitment to our cause in Europe, I think sometimes is undermined and it's ignored. Can I say to each and every one of you, thank you for all you do on behalf of this party. I want you to continue what you're doing. I want you to continue being the thorn in Mr. Juncker's side and bed mattress. And most importantly, I want Nigel giving them grief as much as he can. Just remember, though, that key message that we developed. This party, the United Kingdom Independence Party, developed for the referendum campaign. The one that some of the other organisations have tried again to steal. The one that, again, you must constantly remind people. And that message, remember, take back control. Take back control. Now, of course, the academics out there, let's say they're working hand in glove with our opposition. They want to, ignore what we fought for, what people voted for, what 17.4 million people voted for. They voted to reach out to the world, to reach out to the Commonwealth, to the rest of the world, for bilateral trade deals. They voted for an outward-looking, globally successful, enterprise-building Britain that can thrive and survive and really build on the strengths that this country has in its legacy past. They voted to return political control to Westminster, and they voted to control our borders. If any of that is going to be signed away under Brexit Light, associated Brexit membership, or any other concoction that the Conservatives currently would like to put forward, may I remind you again, this is what the People Army exists for. It's what we're going to fight for. It's what we're going to continue fighting for. But my third, and let's call it major tribute, is to an individual who spoke just before lunch. Somebody who's given up decades, sacrificed a huge amount, who's handed a mantle to me, who still wants to be beside me as your next leader, who will be a stalwart proponent and supporter of Brexit and making sure it's delivered. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you, with me, to thank Nigel Farage once more. Conference, the European Union referendum and the outcome meant that Britain, or the United Kingdom, however you want to style it, is embarking on a new era. And just is the same for our party, the United Kingdom Independence Party. I am not Nigel-like. I'm not even Nigel-light. I will never, ever pretend to be so. What I will be doing is stepping into his leadership shoes, but I will be doing everything to achieve the political success that he's handing over to me and to you. Now, I recognise that politics is a hellishly different scenario than what I've been used to in terms of leading companies, leading boards, both the private and public sector. But what I do appreciate is I can be leader in name, but if I'm not leader with you people behind me, that title is meaningless. I can give you this, though, everyone, an absolute reassurance that I believe in UKIP's values of liberty, common sense, democracy, and pragmatic approaches to the challenges this country faces. My language might be a little different. I'm not going to be retiring, so unlike Nigel, I may not be able to be as frank as I might want to be. But I tell you one thing, you will always get honesty from me on any question that's posed to me as best as I can. And I will uphold all of the beliefs and values that this party stands for, and let nobody suggest otherwise. Professionalism, though, will be top of my agenda. If we are going to reach and achieve the goals that this party is still capable of achieving, then change is going to have to happen. It's not going to be change for change's sake. It's not going to be change because I think I ought to change it and I can't justify it. It's going to be because change is necessary and justified. And the caveat and what is behind that will be to provide and make sure we have a winning political machine under my leadership and with something coming to you which you know delivers all of your key objectives and makes sure you are part of a winning machine. So let me answer some of the questions that I've had put to me. Some of those issues that the detractors, who'd already would like to undermine us and bury UKIP with this conference. The threats to the referendum outcome are increasing by the day. But I can tell you this, here's some answers. No to a European Union associate membership. No to Brexit light. No to single market controls. And no to unrestricted or uncontrolled freedom of movement into this country for 450 or 500 million, whatever the European Union looks like by the time I believe we will leave. If they come in on a fair basis. But here's the yeses. This is what I want you to believe in and work with me on. Yes to a true 100% European Union exit. Can I be any more clearer? Yes to a sovereign, independent United Kingdom. Yes to a United Kingdom free to make trade deals with whoever and whenever we want. And yes to an immigration policy that allows entry, regardless of origin, to those with the skills and the expertise and the social values that this country wants. And may I say, 17.4 million people signed up to those issues, that declaration. 17.4 million people voted to leave the European Union. That's what independence means. And that's what independence in the United Kingdom Independence Party name means. So don't ignore it, Remainiacs. So, Mrs. May, you're now looking, and if you're watching TV this afternoon, you'll be watching the opposition party in waiting. And Mrs. May, from one grammar school girl to another, stop the faff, stop the fudge, and the farce, get on with it. Invoke Article 50. And give UKIP the best Christmas present it could ever have, 2016, 25th of December. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Under my leadership, my serious messages to you all. We're going to confound our critics. We're going to outwit our opponents. We're going to build on our electoral success that we've achieved to date and do more. And as I said, we are the opposition party in waiting, so watch out. But all of you, wherever you are in the United Kingdom at the moment, I ask you, support me, work with me, win with me, make UKIP the winning machine it will become. Thank you, everyone.